Hey everybody, welcome to Fragrance Explorer. My name's Robert and today we're taking a look at Invictus Legend, so let's get started. Invictus Legend is a fresh, aquatic, woody, aromatic fragrance that was introduced in 2019 by the design house of Paco Rabanne. Let's take a look at the note breakdown. In the top we have grapefruit, sea salt, and a synthetic seawater note. In the mid we have geranium, bay leaves, and mead accord. And in the base we have guaiac wood and red amber. So Invictus Legend opens with a bright blast of grapefruit and some salty, sea-like aquatic notes. And it's kind of messy in the opening. For about the first 5 to 10 minutes, it really is kind of a messed up jumble. It doesn't have the best opening, but once you start to get into the dry down in the mid and you start getting some of the sweet notes, there's a mead accord in the mid that is, if you don't know what mead is a honey-based alcoholic beverage that is made from fermented honey, and typically it's got some spice and some other things added to it. So that mid has a very much a honey sweetness. And then there's also some geranium in there that gives you a lemony rosiness that's along with the mid. And then really kind of the star of the mid that balances things out is some bay leaf. And bay leaf is an aromatic it's an aromatic fragrance that's sort of like eucalyptus. It's used in cooking a lot. That's kind of a flavor enhancer, and you typically put the leaves in with a stew or something, and it's very aromatic in that it almost opens up your sinuses like a eucalyptus and just it enhances flavors when you use it for cooking. And so similarly here in the fragrance, that bay leaf in the mid just kind of makes everything else pop. And it's a really, really nice mid in the heart of this fragrance with the geranium and then also the mead accord. And so with those aquatic notes and the geranium and the grapefruit all together now, it feels a bit metallic, really clean, like a clean metallic because of the grapefruit and the geranium and the aquatic notes together. So it doesn't actually list any metallic notes in the breakdown, but it has a bit of a metallic vibe about it once you get all that stuff together, once they're blended and working together. And then in the base, you've got another sweet note with red amber that kind of underlies that honey sweetness that's in the mid. And in addition, you get just a little bit of wood with the guaiac wood, which has kind of a tar smokiness about it. So this is a really, really nice fragrance. It's very much a compliment grabber. The first 2 hours that I wore this last night, I went to a meeting and I pulled at least 5 unsolicited compliments. In fact, someone asked me where I had purchased it. They wanted to look it up on their phone and know where they could buy it. So this is a compliment getting fragrance. So let's talk a little bit about the presentation, and I'm going to change the presentation up a little bit. One of our viewers asked me to do a little bit more detailed presentation with some close-up shots of the packaging so that you guys can know if you go to buy it whether or not you're getting real fragrance or something that's a counterfeit. And so I'd like to do that. I think let me know what you think in the comments if you like us changing up the way that we do the presentation. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a little bit more of a deeper dive into the presentation, and hopefully it'll help you guys out when you're trying to buy discount fragrances out there to not get something that's a counterfeit. So here we go. The box of Invictus is presented in a medium gray with the Invictus Wings logo. And that's on the front of the box, and it's offset against a slate blue field. Now in my photo the wings look black, but they're actually a chrome foil with some fine lines that have been embossed to make the wings look like they're feathered. Now the Invictus font is also in chrome against a white panel that looks like a ribbon encircling the wings. The Legend logo is also embossed right below the wings in foil, along with the Paco Rabanne logo in raised type font, along with the concentration and the size below the logo panel. Then the flaken is in a gradient blue glass. It's a really nice heavy glass, and it starts out with a lighter blue at the base of the glass, and that gets gradiated to a darker blue towards the top. And then the cap area has got sort of a metallic plastic cap that looks like a trophy with the atomizer integrated into the metallic trophy looking top. Now the atomizer on this is really good, but it's not great, and the actuator is integrated into the top of the trophy cap. The Invictus logo is molded into the metallic looking plastic top with the Paco Rabanne logo embossed in a similar look along the back side of the cap. Now there's no stopper to prevent actuation of the atomizer, so I'm not sure that this one's going to travel as well as some of the other fragrances that I've reviewed. Now on the base of the flagon, when you look at the bottom, you're going to find the batch code, the volume, the manufacturing location, and Puig France embossed there on the bottom. And so the owner of the Paco Rabanne marquee is Puig France, and you're going to find that on the bottom. Now the bottom of the box has the ingredient list, a QR code, a barcode, and the batch code that's stamped into the box. Now the batch code on the box should match the batch code that's on the bottom of your bottle, and if it doesn't, or you don't have a batch code on either one, I'd suspect that you might have a counterfeit, so be on the lookout for that if you bought from a discounter. On the back of the box, we also have the Paco Rabanne logo and the Puig information about the location of manufacturing, a web address, and copyright info. And so that's all on the back of the box. And then on the top of the box, we also have a small Paco Rabanne logo that's embossed into the top and centered on the top panel. So let's talk a little bit about performance. I wore this fragrance all week to work and then to some meetings in the evenings, and what I noticed is that this performs fairly well. It doesn't quite perform as well as some of the other fragrances that I've reviewed recently, like Eros Flame or Versace Dillon Blue, but it does perform really well. I would say that you're going to get 5 to 6 hours of wear out of it before you need to get it refreshed, and definitely during the first 2 hours it projects really, really well. Now it's not super loud in that it's not room filling, but you are going to get 6 to 8 feet of sillage around you where people are going to notice that you're wearing the fragrance, especially during the first 2 hours. Now that dies down over time, and probably by about hour number 4 or 5, you're going to notice that it's still radiating a little bit, but it's pretty much down to a fairly close, it's not a skin scent at that point, but it's fairly close to the skin, and by hour number 6 you really need to refresh it. But it is a pretty good performer. It's not the best performing fragrance that I own, but it is pretty good, and I think you'll get pretty good performance out of it as well. So final thoughts about Invictus Legend. I really like this fragrance. It has turned out to be surprisingly one of the fragrances that I really like. I didn't think that I was going to like this very much because everything I'd heard about Invictus was that it was focused on a youth crowd, that it was kind of an under 30 fragrance that had kind of a bubblegum sweetness, and I wasn't really in love with the idea of a super sweet fragrance that made me feel like I was trying to be young, because I am in my midlife. But it turns out that I really like Legend. I think that this one is not super sweet. Now it does have the honey mead accord in the mid, and it's got the red amber in the base, so it is fairly sweet. But I think there's enough spice and there's enough aquatic notes in there and enough floral notes that this one really is very versatile. You can wear it with casual clothes, you can wear it with shorts, you could wear it with business casual attire. It fits kind of a lot of different temperatures. You could wear it in the spring, the fall, even the summer. And I don't think it's exclusive to an under 30 crowd. So I think this one's fairly versatile that can get a lot of wear even if you're a bit older. I like it a lot, and because I like it so much, I'm actually planning on trying to purchase a couple of the other flankers and give them a shot as well, because I think that maybe the original Invictus was targeted towards a youth crowd, but at least this one appears to be usable by someone that's even a little bit older. Anyway, I want to let you guys know the cost on this. I picked this up at Amazon for right around $70, which is a decent discount, $70 US. If you're looking at paying full retail for this, like at Sephora or Dillard's or Macy's, for a 100 milliliter bottle, it's running right around $100, but you can pick this up at discounters. I checked the batch code on mine from the one that I got from Amazon, and it was manufactured in, I think, September of 2019. So it's not even really super old stock, and I think I got this right around December, so it really wasn't old when I originally purchased it. So good luck out there. I plan on having another video out this week where I take a look at how I go about trying to find a good deal on fragrances, because I'm not sponsored. All the fragrances that I review I have to buy myself, so I'm always on the lookout for good deals. So I want to put out a video later this week that kind of shows you guys what I do to look for good deals on fragrances, and then also once I get them, how I check them and make sure that I'm not getting a counterfeit or looking at fakes. And so I hope you guys like that video. I'm hoping to have it out sometime around the middle of the week, and also do another review next weekend. But I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for engaging in the comments and letting me know what you think, giving me feedback. I do appreciate the feedback about wanting to have some more detail about the presentation so that you guys can look at your fragrances if you've picked them up from discounters and know whether or not that you picked up a counterfeit. So I'm going to try to continue to expand the presentation section to give you guys a better look at the packaging and stuff. If you don't like it, let me know as well if you want the videos to be shorter. But I do appreciate the engagement, and I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks a lot.